Is where on earth is your damage for Jarvan, Aatrox, and Braum coming from?
Yeah, yeah, there is a lot of tanky boys here. It really looks like it's going to be dependent on the Nocturne and the Ashe getting a lead here. But Ashe not known as the most heavy damage carry unless she gets a bit of a lead. She is usually seen more of as that engage AD carry, that utility AD carry with the slow and the big to get an early invade on the Java and get a one up on him within the first 10 minutes of the game. And just let me know when you've loaded in, because my loading screen is notorious. Okay,
Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna be.
Just put it in Discord then.
Yeah, do you mind actually? Yeah, because my loading screen on replays is notorious for being slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
It happens, but contesting those early Skarner passives around the top side of the map, that was a little bit clued in on their positions up there now. The early ward onto Chop the Farmer's Raptors. Try and spot him out early to avoid any level 2 mishaps around the map. He is starting bot, or starting top, excuse me, going straight down to bot. Moment of Luke, she didn't do the same. So both teams strong siding their bot as expected. This mid matchup, it's going to be a little bit rough for Galio in the first couple of levels. I think once he unlocks that W passive, it'll get a lot easier. Yeah, Orianna pokes a lot more manageable with that extra magic shield on top of your W, but you know, little very poke coming in from Milio, and this champ's damage early game is crazy. You never expect him to do that much.
Yeah, the Milio, I often see them just take the E level 1 and go up for a quick auto, and you get that little burn passive onto you as well, and it really does do a surprising amount of damage when you have that area as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's a tough one, but
and it looks like the Tristana Braum will have to concede quite a bit early in this game.
Yeah,
it's that classic range versus melee matchup with the melee support. The range support on the other side just gets all the agents they need to poke them out, so you really have to just concede that early level 2.
Yeah,
which Tristana will be happy with.
Yeah, the Braum pick is definitely one that we're yeah, the Braum is definitely one that we're more geared towards later on in the game, trying to keep you alive from this Nocturne mostly. So,
as we do see Nocturne looking for that early invade that we spoke about, clued up by the Ignite, so I would hope that Chop's expecting this. Once you see that summoner, and you do see him coming in here, getting the fear off.
That invade, and Chop is in a lot of trouble here. Gardevoir is here as well with his shields, and one with Deviluch gonna start taking away some of those camps. It's not a good start for being Invictus here. Deep jamming, he's gonna catch Davis out on the backside of this fight, and he's gonna go in with the flag and drag. Mo Deviluch gonna have to get out, win his own. Dukajami flashes in over the wall. He's on his own in between 4 people here. Granny Spanner is next to join the fight. No one quite falling yet. Dukajami falling really down at 1 HP. The dash just missed it. It's gonna be first blood to Chop the Farmer. More potentially on the way here for being Invictus. Granny Spanner has to use that flash to get away. That was with his own flash in response, and the Braum Q is gonna land, and that is 2 kills on the board for Chop the Farmer. An early aggressive play from Stellaron, not going the way they wanted at all. And that is
it was a quick response
in tempo.
It was a quick response from Big there, but almost started off quite troublesome, as we did see the Nocturne get the jump on the Jarvan, which you'd have hoped they'd have expected in Champ Select, seeing that Ignite on the Nocturne. You have to think, well, he's not got the flash, he must be looking for an early invade. So surprised to see them not ward that out, but great response from Big once they did get the information of where the Nocturne was, and a good collapse from them, and a good focus to manage to get those 2 kills, which Stellaron didn't seem to have the correct focus to burst one person down. They all seem to be splitting their damage between a few different targets there.
Enix seems to be having a little bit of trouble with this Aatrox master. Typically Aatrox tends to do well into tankier type champions. That is a big tower shot to do jamming. But Momo Deviluch actually opting for Ignite over a flash in this game.
Yeah, as we spoke about, that was what they clued us up on the early invade. And,
yeah.
But it is down now, and but he did manage to blow the Jarvan's flash in the same meantime, and the Ignite will be back up before the Jarvan's flashes up on that shorter cooldown. So we will have to see if he managed to get a punish in that small window when the Ignite is up and the flash is not. So I wonder if he's going to try up for another invade, even though they did get punished on that first one. And this matchup up in the top lane, I do feel like the Skarner is just going to be sitting back, looking to get an early tier. Start scaling up, and he's I don't think he's going to be looking to fight the Aatrox to level 6. Aatrox is such a strong lane champion.
The Farmer is here, and I think he has other thoughts on this. And Enix finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Does have to use that flash to get away. And the one time we actually won directed replay to look at top lane, it can't do that. So didn't see that, but Enix did.
It does choose its moments of when to show the action and when to not, doesn't it?
Yeah. But
my favorite one's when it just moves over to one of the lanes just to watch someone miss a cannon minion. It feels like spiteful at that point.
Yeah, like it's like a malicious system.
It's definitely, someone's coded that out right. Someone misses the cannon with showing that on screen.
Yeah. Nah, but
goodbye 90 gold.
If you do look at top, that Scarlet without a flash, and then obviously with Aatrox once he gets that wall ended, that is a difficult lane to survive in.
That is, and we do see that early tier coming from the Skarner.
Yeah.
So looking to scale up and not having any of that combat powers, we do see the Aatrox already has that Iron Spike whip and it's up 20 CS already. And when we think about gold in terms of CS, a kill of gold is usually worth about 15. So if you imagine the Aatrox is 1-0 already on the Skarner.
Damage on Aatrox.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and a good amount of healing. Did you see Mobile caught time to take the Drake here?
And that, unfortunately, is going to spell the end of his life, and it's 3 kills for Chop the Farmer, starting Phage, which the people building this item on junglers tilts me off the face of the earth because it does effectively nothing for you, but it's going to go straight into that Gorge Drinker anyway.
Yeah, they changed the build path recently, didn't they, from that Goldfield Warhammer into the Phage.
But it was previously, around the time Gorge Drinker came out, around the Mythic patch in Season 11, Gorge Drinker built off Phage then.
Which made sense because the hammer item was building into like a more hammer, bigger item.
I think it's more just like a mini beefy bruiser item with healing on it into a bigger beefy bruiser item with healing on it.
Yeah.
But the thing with
and
that
it's nice to see
passive,
Phage get a bit of love.
Yeah, the thing with that passive though is that it doesn't do anything if you're in jungle because it's meant for something like constantly harassing and Dooku jamming. Dabas sent to 1 HP with a big combo in that mid lane. But
I don't think Dabas is too scared at the moment without. Yeah. He knows the Galio doesn't have Ignite, and as long as he doesn't get caught in a combo at the current HP he's at, he knows he can comfortably tank about half his HP there.
Yeah.
As we do see.
Enix maybe in a little bit of trouble here. The Q is going to land, but the Q3 flash from Galungulate. And the gold lead accelerates to 3.3k.
We do see Galungulate punish that flash, and Chop the Farmer helped him burn earlier. Can just reliably Q3 there, flash, easy damage.
And oh my god, if you look at his farm, have a look at the gold quickly. He's 1.3k behind at 8 minutes. That is
that's Skarner pick.
It's such a heavy snowballing pick.
I like the Skarner pick. I don't like the Skarner pick into the Aatrox. The Aatrox is such a strong laner, and with the range on your Q 1, 2, and 3, the Skarner just can't get towards you to get any reliable trade back onto the Aatrox. And anything he does get is probably just going to get healed back out naturally through his passive. So yeah, really tough matchup up in the top lane. And Galungulate doing a great job to punish that. Into a matchup I can't imagine he's too familiar with.
Oh, and the Nocturnaut's going to come into mid lane, and Dabas is going to fall to the last Ignite, but not before he gets a trade back onto Momo Deviluk. And a lot of resources used on that mid lane just for a 300 to 300 trade. Dabas not going to have TP up in time to go back, but Chop the Farmer going to try and make this into a 1-for-2. He's going to dash back in, get that after. So happy. The Pawn just to slow him down a little bit. I think he should be going to lose his life.
Did you see a Galio?
He's going to ult bot lane to get away when the Jarvan had already left him behind.
I think he must have not had vision on where the Jarvan was when the Jarvan backed off, as he was too scared about another Flag and Dragon combo coming in and killing him. So
yeah,
a big resource lost away from.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. Like both the Nocturne and the Galio, that's a lot of pressure off the map.
I mean, we'll probably see the Nocturne ult up again in the next minute or so, but the Galio ult's going to be down for at least 2 minutes now, so they'll have to wait if they want to combo those two ultimates together. As we do see Galungulate had now frozen the top lane. Into NX, who's really going to be struggling down 40 CS now. If we just look towards the gold, he's probably up about 1500, 1600 now.
Chop is here again. He knows where the strength in his team lies. His Aatrox is so powerful. A W chain going to land, and every piece of CC landed perfectly on top of each other. That's another kill for Galungulate.
And knowing that Flash is still down, easy punish on the immobile Skarner. Whilst he does run quickly, he does not have any movement ability to get away from that Flag and Dragon.
Permanently stuck on the Galungulate's tower.
A great wave manipulation from Galungulate.
10 minutes. It's a nightmare up there for him. This matchup is so punishing.
And when you get in a situation like this, it just really feels there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even that he can really do much about it. It's not like he's griefing. He's playing. It could be a lot worse by now. He just can't really do anything.
I'm kind of in the position where I kind of want to just leave top lane and go impact the map somewhere else with his ultimate, and just accept that you're not going to get anything in lane at this point, and go for a play bot lane.
The arrow is going to come down, and the ult straight onto the Clovenelli. He's going to get away under his tower. The bomb ult used, and the W is enough to get him away. In the end, it is.
And a great ultimate from Killer Vanilla there to save the bomb and push the Nocturne back as well.
Yeah, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow and the Nocturne ult, they're long cooldowns at this point in the game. Like the Stellaron just consistently using a lot of resources and just not getting the payback they need for it, and that is a very, very dead Phoenix. The World Ender is enough bonus AD and healing to get him. It wasn't particularly close to it. He didn't need to hit him to get through that fight, but the third kill, Aatrox is an absolute monster. And it goes from bad to worse for Stellaron. Duke of Jamming is going to be the next victim. Everywhere is just falling.
I feel Davis should be able to pick this up here.
The taunt's going to come in. He's not going to get. He's going to get the last ultimate attack off, and the dash isn't going to go through. And that is a Herald mid lane. And this is a 5.3k gold lead at 11 minutes.
The Invictus start to run away with this one for potentially the first time this season. As they have now got that 5-6k gold lead, and we could be looking towards the Invictus win here.
Potentially the turnaround point in what has been a nightmare start to the season for them.
Is this the start of the playoff run for B Invictus? As we can see, League's a very momentum-based game. Coming off a big win here could really turn around the Lentils for the rest half of the season.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, Gulungule is having an absolute stormer in this top lane. He's been brilliant.
60 CS up. I mean, what more can you ask from your top laner? And the wave manipulation is honestly the biggest thing for me.
I was going to say,
it's one thing to be able to kill your opponent laners, but deny them all that XP, farm, and gold is what really separates a really punishing lead against someone. Being able to take that advantage and just completely deny the enemy top laner makes such a big difference in games like this.
I think you do need to be careful of this Star ultimate though, pulling you back to your tower.
It's one of those things we really have to always keep in mind, like, can he pull me under tower here, because that will be the difference maker. Galungulate though does have that flash up though, so I feel like he can't, even if he does fall victim to that, he will be able to escape quite nicely as long as there's no more support for NX from his teammates. It's so obnoxious.
Oh no, Galungulate!
It was a
Q3 flash.
Little bit overreach from there, there. Thought he had the angle, but not quite. Didn't have the distance. And
dropping an XP in shot to display his feelings.
As you do. It was a brave attempt, but a bit overambitious, as we said. As we do look towards the bot lane now, quite even in lane, but Ashe picking up the Granny Spanner picking up a bit of a CS lead over the Tristana, but it really is this top side of the map that is just leaking gold for CNCR at the moment.
Yeah.
So I feel like the differential in the bot lane in CS is not making up the gold difference in the top side of the map, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, I don't actually know if they have a lead in bot lane. I'll tell you now. They do. I bet they're almost exactly even in bot lane, but the entire map is just on fire. And Enix, he's gonna be the victim to another Jarvan gank. Oh, he's gonna face check it straight into it. He's gonna try and run into the river with cataclysms there. Does use the flash to get away, but Davis is here with that command shockwave. And it's a killing spree for Davis.
And you can see he felt like the Jarvan was there, but he does end up face checking and giving the easy EQ combo, and then does have to flash out the Cataclysm, which means he doesn't have it up to avoid the Orianna ultimate.
But the Nocturne's here to try and help out with this fight in mid lane. Davis with a good flash away. The Galio ult straight on top of Chop the Farmer. They just don't have enough damage in the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Not going to be enough to kill, but it is with the Nocturne Q in the end. And they are going to get something back in a game full of woes. And it's another fight to the death here in this bot lane. Granny Spanner kiting away. Gardevoir and Rest are both sitting on about 30% health. They're going to keep taking this fight.
Did you see Granny Spanner now turn straight around?
Invictus are running for the hills. Danger Fool's going to take the death. And it's another kill for Duke of Jamming in mid lane as well. The World Ender coming out. Action all over the map here. And overall, it's a very positive trade for Stellaron here.
Stellaron would be really happy with that. That was quite a few shutdowns they got there, and a bit of a drop the ball from being Invictus there. I don't think it's enough to make a big impact on the game at the moment, but definitely a nice little bit of gold that CNCR would not have been expecting in their pocket at this point in the game. Yeah, with how the situation is at the moment.
Gained about 2k gold back there. in the midst of all that. And you know, just that enchanted crystal arrow from Granny Spanner all the way from bot lane, placed perfectly to set up for that Momo Deviluke Q. And it was enough to get that.
Yeah, it was a great ult from Granny Spanner, but it did bit kind of. It was a double-edged sword though, because whilst Momo Deviluke did get in range to get the kill on the Urana, he did set himself up perfect. Right, yeah. He did tunnel on it and did end up dying to chop the farmer there as a.
The kill was
it would have been it was returned, and overall worth because there was a shutdown on Oriana at the time that went straight into Nocturne's pocket. But Nocturne still is down just under 2k to Jarvan at the moment. And Aatrox sat on that 400 gold shutdown, so CNCR will be looking to pick that up from him in the top lane. But I just feel that there's no catch to this Aatrox at the moment. If you go up there to try and 2v1 or 3v1, he could just turn that around and you end up leaking more gold. So they really have to be careful with that one. As it does look like they have just abandoned the top lane for the moment and leave them on their right. And told Enix just try your best to not leak as much gold as you can now. Whilst we try and focus towards the bot side of the map. As Dragon will be spawning within the next minute.
Here's something that I'm a bit on the fence about. The QSS rush from Braum. I don't know about that.
Not sure about that one. It's obviously for the Skarner and maybe some of the CC from an Ashe ult.
In an ideal world, your Braum is the one that gets Skarner ult, that's a good thing. But it's going to be two big Nocturne and Galio ult investments, and Deja Vu is going to fall here. But Chop the Farmer is here to try and get something back. It's a 4v3 as it stands. Another people coming down, and Galungulate is here. The raid boss has joined the fray, and it's a massive shockwave from Davis, and it's gone to an absolute disaster for Stellaron. 3 kills, Gardevoir getting away with his life, but it doesn't matter because it is absolutely massive from Davis and Galungulate and Chop the Farmer.
And that's what we were really looking from Galungulate and Davis. Could they spread that lead to the bot side of the map and accelerate a team gold and team objective? And that's exactly what they do with that Galungulate TP, and Davis just roaming down and really pushing their advantage now, starting to just rack up their wallets and throw them at the enemy team. And it's just stat checking at this point. Like, they just click their mouses over the enemy team and they're just looking to die at the moment, as they just don't have the gold or the stats behind them to tank that damage or reply in turn. As Galungulate now sat 402 on that 500 gold and is now 3.3k over the Skarner, who is 0-4 with 70 CS. Sat only on 4,000 gold next to the Aatrox's 7,500. So like a massive performance from Galungulate here. Looking to push his team towards that first victory.
Chop the Farmer doesn't have that cataclysm. It does have that cataclysm, excuse me. Johnny's going to try and do his best to save his jungler, but it's not going to matter. Pawns onto them too long after he's already passed away, and you know it's looking rough.
And this was the issue that we called in draft with Stellaron's team. Like, where is the damage? You have an Aftershock Galio in the mid lane, a Skarner top, who is leaking gold and doesn't even have his mythic item yet. So your only damage is coming from your Nocturne and your Ashe, with Emilio backing them up. But it's just not enough when you look at the healing from the Gore Drinker on the Aatrox and the Jarvan at this point. And the peel with the Braum shield as well. Like, they just don't have the damage to get through these HP bars at this point in the game. And it really does feel like just it's a draft difference at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. But the gold is now sitting at about 8k. Enix still just not able to find a window to get into this game at all.
And you do really have to hope, will this be Invictus' first win of the week? And it does feel like the onus is on them now to pull through this victory, as they have all the tools they need now to close this game out.
It would take like, a lot for them to lose this game.
They would need some disastrous fights.
Johnny's going to TP in here, and that is all everything used on Galungulate. That shutdown.
They do manage to get him there.
That's not ideal when the Ashe.
As they threw the entire bus at Aatrox there with the Ashe ultimate into the Skarner ultimate, into the Nocturne ultimate. I'm surprised they didn't throw a Galio on top of it. As they do secure that.
Everything.
As they do secure that.
The Ignite invested 3 ults for this one Aatrox.
And you're not too mad about that if you're being Invictus. That's a lot of resources spent for them.
Yeah.
As we do see the Baron spawning now at 20 minutes, If they do want to go for an early one, they know that a lot of those resources are now down, but they probably will look to score a couple of picks before they do move towards that objective. As we do see Chop now catching NX.
Can be up that far. The flag and drag doesn't have that Shojin yet, but enough CDR to probably get that back up in a second.
And there it is.
Doing his very best to scuttle his little legs away. The flash comes in as well. He's going to get the stun down. That flag and drive is going to land. The Chop the Farmer is going to pick up an easy 250 gold from that kill.
And as we said, that was the power of that gold drink, moving towards that Shojin combo.
He's going to get caught out in mid lane here. Moment of is here as well. The TC's going to come down from Galungulate. This could be really big for Aatrox. Saving pool is going to fall. It wasn't Aatrox actually, it was Davis. And the Chopper is going to come in, has to be countered with that Galio ultimate. And this one is Aatrox this time. Dickie Johnny is going to get away his kill, but like used the Buster Shot and saved his life.
And a couple quick kills there for Stellaron there onto the bot lane, so they'll be happy with that one, as they did lose the Tuscana in the top lane, so that is a 2-for-1 trade overall, so they'll be happy with that. That course of play of the last minute and a half or so.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
So you see Chop now coming in just to cover up with clean up his jungle spawns. His blue buff will be coming up soon. He has his completed smite now as well, as does the Nocturne, so we'll be able to share that buff once he takes it, and probably most likely give it to the Orianna. As Nocturne's down farming in the bot lane, just trying his best to catch up with the Jarvan gold leads, who is now 3-4k ahead of him still, 8-105. Monster performance from Chop here. Top side of the map really coming through.
Fantastic game.
And he is the richest man in the game by quite a significant margin. He's the only one in over 10,000 at the moment.
Wow.
The next person is 9k. Even the Aatrox is 2,000 gold behind the Jarvan here. But both have the same build, gone for that, haven't gone for the Shojin, interesting. They've gone to move towards that Cleaver. And you have to think maybe only one of them needed it. So maybe a bit of miscommunication in the comms there, as I feel like one of them could have gone towards that Shojin, because that item is just so powerful, and you don't need the shredding from both of them. Jarvan already has the inbuilt armor shred in his queue. So maybe could have looked to get that on the Aatrox and the Jarvan, go for that really powerful Shojin build.
This is a mountain soul for an Aatrox, Braum, and Jarvan.
Really going to get good value out of this if they manage to pick this up.
Gardevoir might get baited in here. Galungulate is here. The chain is going to land. He's going to spot out in the middle of that. Galungulate focusing his attention on the Gardevoir as they do tap away at that Drake. Enix is here to help this time. The shockwave's still up. Stellaron can't find a way into his pick. Galungulate doing so much damage to that front line of Stellaron. The Braum over the wall hits 4, and another one's going to come in, but he doesn't get the dragon, and he's going to be a victim of his own movement.
And good patience from Dabis there, not blowing the ultimate straight away onto the Skarner. He did have the opportunity, but not using it there left the threat up. So the rest of the team just couldn't move in for the fear of the Orianna ult and the Jarvan combo. So really good patience from Dabis though, as they do just move towards this Baron now. And I can't see how Stellaron are going to contest this without their jungle, without any smite. They will just have to give this.
Yeah, I think on the point of the builds, I think the second item Shojin maybe he's not going at third either. I mean, maybe he just doesn't know about the build. I'm not sure.
Essentially, because it does look like he's moving towards that Death Dance.
Yeah.
For his third item, to get more of that survivability.
Yeah.
Maybe he just values the more of the staying alive rather than the constant EQs that you can't get from that Shojin Gore Drinker build.
Yeah.
As we do see Dabis going for that scaling build with the Leandri's Seraphs, as we talked about. He didn't want to go for that Ludens to pop, but he's got enough damage on his team at the moment with the Aatrox. He's just looking to get a big wombo and start off that damage for the cleanup from the Tristana and the Aatrox. As we move into the later portions of the game now, just creeping up past 24 minutes here. And Soul has already been secured, and what an early Soul that is. Only 24 minutes in the game, so we will be seeing a 30-minute Elder if we do get to that point, and that's the only point I can see potentially Stellaron maybe getting a steal on something and maybe able to turn something around, as that is sort of their last beacon of hope at this point, as all the other objectives are down on the map at the current moment. And they will just be trying to scale as best they can, but it really just looks really dire for them at the moment. As the Nocturne didn't end up going for the Stridebreaker in the end, he has gone for that Drakthar Axiom Arc combo, but who is your target on the Invictus at this point? Orianna's got a stopwatch, Tristana's going to jump away, she's most likely going to have a Braum next to her anyway.
And the Nocturne ult to follow. That is a very, very not dead. That is He does have that stopwatch available to EQ out from Chop the Farmer. It's a big fight here for Stellaron potentially. Danger Fool's going to claim the massive block flank. He's going to get blown up immediately. And the Killer Villa all the way away. Granny Spanner is going to be the first victim of that. Danger Fool somehow managed to survive through 5 people hitting him at once. The famed Brawn flank. I doubted it, but it actually worked. And, they're gonna try
just as I say, who are you going to engage on? Granny Spanner lands a massive ultimate on the Davis and manages to allow the Skarner to get the ultimate and to be able to burst him down there, even through the stopwatch.
He's going to engage onto this, but it's not going to matter. Momo Devil, no, he's just maybe going to get away. The Killer Bill is going to survive, but so is he. Belinga is still pushing bot lane in here, and you do have to feel for Granny Spanner a little bit in this game.
Yeah, he is struggling at this point. They haven't had much impact on the bottom side, no matter how even they went. The top side just sort of fell apart in the early part of the game. Yeah. Skarner was just out of it from the moment he stepped into the lane, it felt like.
Yeah, this is a sole 10.4k gold lead, 3-item Aatrox, 3-item Jarvan.
And we do just see at this point, like, the map is not theirs to own. Like, the Jarvan is just going through, clearing their entire jungle. So where are the resources from Stellaron's side to come back into this, as they are just getting shut out of the game at the moment? As we would expect, the game to probably end on the next objective spawns as they move towards that Baron, unless they manage to get a big pick. And can just push through into the base, as it has already been cracked open in the mid and the bot lane. And with that bot lane inhibitor down, that someone just has to be there to stop those minions pushing in and getting onto your Nexus towers. So it just feel like when this Baron comes up in the next couple of minutes that they're not going to be able to respond, as someone will have to be there. Maybe they can send the Galio or the Skarner and TP them in, but the fight just already feels lost at this point with this gold difference. And it's across the board. There's not a single person on Stellaron who's ahead of their counterpart. Except for a 200 gold difference for the Galio in the mid lane over Davis. But the gulf in the gold difference, like, Aatrox has double Skarner's gold at the moment. Yeah, Aatrox is sat on 12,000 gold and Skarner's on 6.5. That is a lead that you don't see very often. So Galungulate really coming through here with a big performance, and he is the raid boss to kill at the moment. Along with the Chop on this Jarvan, who does have a stopwatch as well now, so on that initial engage he will be able to go invulnerable and take a bit of extra time away from the damage dealers of Stellaron. He's probably going to get popped instantly if they get caught in the wombo combo. I can't see any of them living through that.
Yeah, the wallets. It's just too big, I think.
As it does look like the Elder is kind of coming up in the next minute, and if Stellaron is setting up the, the Invictus just setting up the vision now, and we'll be looking to deny anyone coming into that bot side of the jungle, for Stellaron to not be able to lock off all the vision, as we do see a few blue trinkets coming through now just for Granny Spanner, and we have to remember Granny Spanner is also playing the Ashe, so we'll be able to throw that E out and get a bit of vision just to check those brushes for his support to go through and get a bit of vision now. But I don't see how they're going to be coming through this one. They know that they're going to be on this Elder as soon as it spawns, and it's just a matter of which brush they're sitting and can they guess correctly, and can Momo Devil get in for the steal, as that sort of feels like the only way back into the game at the moment. If they can trade the Nocturne for the Elder buff and then get 4 of those out and then hold at your base, that feels like the only option they have at this current time. As we do see the Elders now spawned, and instantly the Invictus has started out. The Ashe arrow does come through.
Onto Chop the Farmer, he's going to try to step in on his own. Galungulate taking 2 people on his own on the left side of this fight. Enix, 5 at the half HP, the Shockwave's going to land as well, and he's going to be the first victim. Gardevoir has to run away on 1 HP. He's still sitting as a good front line for this team. The captain's going to come to Granny Spanner. It doesn't matter if you get flashed out of it. Big top for Giant, but it's not going to matter. The Whirlwind comes out from Galungulate, and everything is going to fall. It is over for Stellaron, and the Invictus are going to collect their first win of the season.
And that is the game.
To back,
they don't even need the Elder. Just they have the minions in the bot lane now.
Straight into base, and finally.
And that is the game. Massive performance from the Invictus.
5 weeks in.
The top and the jungle really coming through. They're Galungulate and top having a massive game with great support from Davis and Vanilla. And Fool having a great first game as well, as we do see them get the ace there and Momo Devolup at the end. And a massive performance from all of them.
Big win for being Invictus.